Lea Michele, failed pop star and substantially successful actress, has recently been getting called out by a ton of people for her nasty behavior behind the scenes. Now, for people who aren't too keen on who Lea Michele is, let me give you a little breakdown. She's most famous for her role as Rachel in Glee. Glee was an extremely successful music-based TV show, so much so that a lot of that success translated over into real life, going on to have countless hits on Billboard and millions of records being sold. Sadly for Lea, that couldn't translate to solo success in music outside of Glee. She got signed back in 2012 to Columbia Records and released the most bland, most generic, most lifeless music that I'm sure anyone would ever hear in their lives. Just imagine Roar by Katy Perry, but without Katy's personality, filled with even more pop cliches, and merely not as catchy, and that's basically her style of music in a nutshell. She's a great singer, I'll never take that away from her, but I really don't think her voice is suited for pop music. Her voice is way too theatrical, way too Broadway. It's different when it's applied to Glee because it's a cast involved in a TV show, but that doesn't necessarily translate well for her into a solo career. And there are a ton of pop singers who are Broadway trained, but Lea doesn't have that spark as an artist either. I think it's safe to say most people agree, seeing that her debut album Louder and sophomore album Places significantly underperformed. Most people probably don't know these albums were even released and probably haven't heard a solo song from her, and to those people, you are very lucky. She's since been dabbling in acting still, and that seems to be going well for her. However, she recently set the Twitter sphere on fire after allegations of her being difficult to work with surfaced. It all started when Lea made a tweet in support of the BLM movement, and then fellow actress Samantha Ware quoted that tweet accusing Lea of being terrible to her, going on to say, LMAO, remember when you made my first television gig a living hell? Cause I'll never forget. I believe you told everyone that if you had the opportunity you would shit in my wig, amongst other traumatic microaggressions that made me question a career in Hollywood. Which in short is very disturbing, and you would never think of this to be true because she acts so innocent. She ended up losing a sponsorship with HelloFresh for these accusations, and then came the classic Notes app apology, and the apology reads as follows. Actually, I really hate reading these Notes app apologies because they're the same thing over and over. It's like they all borrow from each other and just rephrase everything. But I'm just gonna put it on the screen for you guys to read, and then I'll get back to you. Yeah, I know, it's the cliche Notes app apology. Imagine how tired we are. Something about this apology doesn't sit right with me, it doesn't really feel genuine. Maybe it's the subtlety of her placing the blame on others. Rather than taking full accountability, she makes it seem like it's the people's fault for perceiving her that way. But I just feel like if you're going to make an apology, do it fully and take all responsibility. It makes it so much easier. And after this apology, even more accusations came out about her, and I'll read you guys some. All of these accusations have come from people who have been extras on Glee or involved with Lea. Ched says, I did background on Glee for seasons 3 and 4. My strongest memory of you was storming out of the Glee classroom set yelling, does anyone have gum? I was standing about 10 feet away from you with gum already in hand. When I said I do, offering it to you, you just looked at me and said ew, before walking off to Crafty on the next stage. Hopefully you've grown as a person and treat people better on sets. Marcus says, quite honestly, I worked with you many times for years. You were abusive, rude, condescending, and at many times downright cruel. There is no excuse for your behavior. You have so much talent, but there is so much hate within your heart. You said one incredibly cruel thing to me once, and you didn't even know my name. Everyone who has worked with you carries those memories with them. An Instagram apology written in your Notes app just doesn't cut it. This isn't an isolated incident. It's years of crap you've pulled that people are bringing up. You used to call extras on Glee cockroaches, and you got people fired on a whim. You have much work to do, much. Gerard says, seems to have been deleted, so I'll try again. You were nothing but a nightmare to me and fellow understudy cast members. You made us feel like we didn't belong there. I tried for years to be nice to you to no avail. Maybe actually apologize instead of placing the blame on how others perceive you. You'll probably just delete this though. And there's more accusations coming, the allegations just keep coming out. Amber Riley tweeted this gif shortly after Lea was put on blast and went on to say, I'm not going to say that Lea Michele is racist. That's not what I'm saying. That was the assumption because of what's going on right now in the world, and it happened towards a black person. I'm not going to say that she's racist. I wish Lea Michele well. I hope that she has an amazing pregnancy. I hope that she has grown. So she's basically giving confirmation that some of the allegations are true because she's saying that she hopes that she has grown from something. Those terrible actions, of course. And that about sums it up. It's clear that Lea is a diva and may have some behavioral issues and think that she's untouchable. I'm not going to say that she's racist because I don't know her beliefs, but I will draw the conclusion that she has some questionable behavior behind the scenes. And this sort of reminds me of Ellen DeGeneres as well. They portray themselves to be these down-to-earth, just good-hearted people, but behind the scenes there's so many stories of them being terrible, and it ruins the good girl images they painted for themselves. These past weeks have been such a wild time. So many people's true characters have been exposed, and it just goes to show we really should not put any celebrity on high standards when it comes to personality, because they're all fucked up, and just as fucked up as we are, if not worse. As for Lea, I've never really cared for her, but if all these things are true, I hope that she's grown, and this is proof that all the things you put out always come back to bite you. But I personally don't care to entertain her or her future endeavors either way. Anyways, what do you guys think about this situation? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.